you know what? I've never, unless I was really naive and didn't see anything as discrimination, the only one thing that sticks out in my mind, and by the way, I did not realize that I was the first female Aboriginal person to ever sit on city council. Never ever had an issue on city council, at least not to my face. The only thing that I recall is when I was working at Safeway back in the early 90s, and we used to, and you're too young and probably didn't live here at the time anyhow, every business decorated for Fair Week. It was a week-long thing, right? And we dressed in costume. So this one year I went to, I believe it was Malabar's, and I rented a buckskin dress, complete with the wig and the headband and all that, moccasins, the whole bit, right? And I remember this fellow coming through my till, and he said, "Oh, you look good as an Indian." And I said, "Well, maybe that's because I am." He put his groceries on the counter and said, "I'm never coming back to this store again if they allow people like you to work in here." Yeah. I was absolutely shocked because I'd never, ever come across anything like that. I went to high school in Cranberry Portage, and it was a lot of reserves, small towns that had no high schools. Best education ever. I loved it. I was very lonesome. You know, you're 500 miles away from home with no telephone. You know, you have to write letters home to your parents and, you know, that kind of thing. But it was a very good education that I got. I remember a girl that I got to be friends with for the short time that she was there. She was from Gillum, and she was white. And the reason she quit was because she felt discriminated against, because it was mostly First Nations and Métis going to Cranberry Portage, right? And I just, you know, at the time, I think I was 13 or 14, and I didn't understand it, why anybody would say anything to her, you know. So I guess that was my first taste of discrimination, but it wasn't against me. Anyhow, she ended up quitting. She lasted from September to Christmas, and she never came back. She said she couldn't handle it, you know. And then the guy from Safeway, other than that, I've never. And like I say, if I have, it was never to my face. It would have been obviously behind my back. But I've actually not ever given it a second thought, to be perfectly honest, you know, because I don't know, you know, people are all born equal, right? And they should be treated as such.